Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. That invisible Brahman is full. This Brahman with name and form is also full. The full comes from the full. If you accept the fullness of the full with knowledge that this is also full, then what is left behind is also full. Oh, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So we have started the reading of this Shetashwatara Upanishad. We will be reading verse number what? 4 today, 6 today. So what we have said, this Upanishad starts with the questions that when the scholars meet together, they who study with Vedanta, they talk. Then that's what they start with this question: King Karanam Brahma. What is this cause of this universe? Looking at this universe, who created this universe? Is Brahman? Brahman, or it is how did it come from? How it is surviving? Is the Brahman is the cause? Where do we come from? Since we came, who has sustained us? After we are here, who is supporting us? Where shall we go? When we end comes in our life, where shall we go? Oh, knowers of Brahman, who controls us? To that we become subject to certain rules about pain and pleasure in life. Who controls our pleasure, pain, suffering, joy? Who is there behind? Is there anybody? Then responses may come. Some may say it is time, In the creation has come, you are asking. In time it has happened. And some will say it is time. And some will say very nature of the thing. This is the way. The tree is tree, plant is plant, the sour is sour, sweet is sweet. This is the nature, in the nature. Some say cause and effect. This world is created. There will be some subtle thing came into gross, gross to subtle, subtle to do. This is a cause and effect. And you do something good, a good result comes. So it is cause and effect is the cause of our existence. Some say, oh no, no, this is accident. By accident, the sun and big star came and they split into that, and then planet Earth and Earth, all the planets have been created, and then they start rotating due to gravitation. No? How did it happen? By accident, really. Or it is made of 5 elements. You see earth, water, air, fire, space, etc. Or it is we, the individual souls, we of all make this universe. Some may say this question, and some may say, okay, maybe individual cause, or you take all these reasons together. That may be the cause of our creation of the world. So all these questions were being asked, and this type of response came. Then they could not find this solution. See, really, why this world is here, why we are here, why pain and suffering, where to go after death, they could not find by intellectually analyzing this thing. Then the third verses, they sat together. They dhyano yoganugata pasyan. They went into deep meditation in their own heart, and they could recognize, they could understand. They looked deep meditation, and they saw what is that? The power of the luminous, conscious, cosmic self is the cause of the universe. There is some luminous, conscious self within. That may be the cause. They understood. And Maya hides the self behind the universe. Devatma Shakti Sagunoy Niguna. Say by his own power, this power, which is the self-effulgent power, it covers by its own Maya this whole and creates this universe. And the self, the one and the same, controls everything mentioned previously, including this person and in time. So these are the uh, cause. Cause is that means he is indicating Brahman with Maya is the creation. And now, what is this universe? And they describe that it is like a ring, wheel. It's a Brahma Chakra made of the three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, with the spokes, 51 spokes, all these ways of expressing. It is the Brahma Chakra, three gunas are veiling the Atman, and the spokes are all our Astasiddhi, etc. So many things, whatever we see in the world is created out of that. So the whole world is a chakra, Brahma chakra. It is like a wheel, and is rotating continuously. And the senses, the eyes, ear, hand, feet, all these things are supporting this world wheel together. Now, after that, verse number 4, last time we read, that it says that the five organs of perception, he has compared this world like a stream in a river. So there are five such streams, five organs of perception, and the five currents in the river. Five elements stimulate it and make it grow powerful and crooked. And its turbulence comes, then the five organs of action are its waves, and the mind, the source of the sense perception, is its source. That means it is saying the five sense organs, five organs of action and perception, then, and the mind and buddhi, etc. They all create this turbulent journey in the river of life. So this life becomes miserable because there are five pancha sources of the river, five sources of so all the five elements have joined together. So that may be the pancha prana. Pancha prana urmi, the waves in the river are the five vital breaths, prana, apana, this prana, apana, all these forces of the air in the body is maintaining this. So this is it is like wave. They are represented by the five organs of action, karmendriya, tongue, hand, feet, etc., etc. Pancho buddhyadi moolam. It's mind, and its mind is the cause because mind connects with all the senses. The mind makes the organs work. Pancha avartam, five types of wheel pools are there. The five wheel pools. What are the five wheel pools? Senses fall into the sense objects. Each sense object is a wheel pool. It drags you down. Wheel pool, what happens? When it does like that, it sucks the thing inside. So our eyes are here. Some object I see, and then it touches it and takes my mind into that wheel pool. And but all the senses, ear, tongue, taste, all these things are five wheel pools. There is sound, the form, rupa, taste, rasa, smell, gandha, etc., etc. Pancha dukkha, five sorrows. We are, because falling in this trap of this journey, we are entrapped into the five types of suffering. What are the five types of suffering? Because first you are born in the mother's womb. To stay in the mother's womb is a big suffering. Then you are born, that is another suffering. All the children, 90% of the time they have to cry. So it is all suffering. So before birth is suffering, after born you are suffered, then disease comes, then old age comes, then death comes, all suffering. The pancha dukkhas. This life takes us to the pancha dukkha and pancha parvam, five moods. In life there are five moods. They are like a pancha parvam, five moods causing five bondage of our. What is that? Ignorance is the first cause. First, um, covers our identity. Vanity, attachment, aversion, and much preoccupation with everything outside. So these sources of all trouble is that we have many desires. And so that is why all these things are happening, because we want to fulfill ourselves. We think that we are incomplete. Getting this objective, object in the world, seeing this beautiful rupa form, hearing this beautiful music concert, going for getting such good feast in some what you call restaurant, town. So thinking that I'll be happy, I'll be happy, I'll be happy. That happiness is in the desire, and desire in the mind. That is creating all this cycle of birth and death. And we're getting into the whirlpool and sucked into it, and we lose ourselves. We forget.
The whirlpool, it doesn't have to always be a positive, right? It can also works the same for negative, for aversion.
I'm thinking it is, yeah, but that leads to attachment, aversion, and all these things. Because I love something, that is the whirlpool, and I get sucked into it, and the consequence comes. That's why I suffer. That's why pancha dukkha, five types of suffering we are having. But where is the suffering coming? Go to the cause, desire.
So is this whirlpool referring to Maya?
Yeah, Maya's play. Maya plays in hundreds of ways, thousands of ways. They have money uh, collected into five ideas of the five sense objects. That's why Shankaracharya says that the human being is blessed with five sense organs, but the sense organs, if they are not correctly directed, it can kill the person. Seeing that the weakness of the moth can live long, but when there is a fire, moth becomes mad for the fire and will run and jump into it. He thinks it is good before jumping, but when he jumps into it, he's burned and dead. So that is the thing. I think it is beautiful. My eyes are attracted to that, and it jumps into it, and it gets into the whirlpool, and boom, there I die. Not only eyes, all the five sense organs have their corresponding objects. And when we get into that, we lose ourselves and we die there. That's a die means we forget that what is our identity. Who are we? We are ever free, pure soul, but we get entangled. We get we become slave of all those things, and the life becomes miserable. So that was the example given in the river idea. The river, the current, five currents are coming, and it's becoming a stream. And stream, in that stream there are whirlpools, there are waves. So all these examples have been given to compare with our present life and this world we live in, how it is deluding us, and we are forgetting our divine entity. We should not be crying, weeping. We should not have any problem in our life. We are eternally free. But because of all this, we are caught. eh? Now, we are reading today the verse number 6. Sarva jive sarva sangasthe brihante asmin hangsho brahmyate brahmachakre prithagaatmanang preritarang chamatva justastatastena amritattameti. Amritattameti. They attain to amritatta, immortality. Attains. Eti means attains, amritatta. How? This is the picture has been given up till now. Because of our senses, because of our sense connection with the sense objects, and because of this strong stream living, leading towards the journey of life, we are caught into the trap. And we are immortal, but we have become mortal. Now, how to be immortal now? In one verse, it's giving the briefly the idea. Prithak atmanam preritam chamit matva. Thinking, preritam, who is guiding me and who am I being guided, they are prithak. Atmanam matva, if one can separate. No, no, no. The prerita, who is the driving force behind that consciousness, is separate from this body, the senses, all we have talked about, the five elements, they're all separate. Iti matva, if one can meditate this way, analyze this way, understand this way, atmanam matva, amritattam iti, then they can attain amritattam, the infinity. And also jushtaha, to the mercy of God. They are also indicating the grace of God. No? So your analysis, they are prithak. Atman is different, the consciousness is different, five pranas are different, five sense objects are different. It is separate from that. Consciousness is separate from what we are identifying with ourselves. Knowing this, analyzing this deeply, and by God's grace, one attains that amritattameti. And those who don't understand that, those who never think that I am separate from that consciousness is me all the time true, these are all changing. The river water flows all the time. It is not steady. It is changeful. Emotions change every time. Prana, all the five pranas, they are all changing all the time. So these are all changeful things. I am the unchanging reality. Unless you analyze this and God's grace comes, no one can get release. But those who cannot, like us, sarva jive, all jivas, ajive, that Hamsa, who is the pure soul, Swan, that's one unattached. Swan is the example is Swan is Hamsa. Hamsa is who? Hamsa floats into the water, but no water accumulates in its body. So they live free. That sarva ajive, so long as the individual self thinks he is separate from the cosmic self, he continues to travel round the cosmic whirlpool, passing through all matters of vicissitudes at the mercy of the Lord. He finally gets his liberation if the Lord so pleases, that is what he feels one with the cosmic self. Somewhat or other, he has to become one with the cosmic self. This will happen as if the Lord is attracting him. This is one explanation. And let me see what Swami Shankara's here he said the individual soul, that is the Hamsa, considering itself and the controller as different. First of all, I think God is somewhere else. I was explaining opposite way, but now the meaning is that this thinking that I am not one with that, I am separate. It's considering itself and that the soul and the controller are different. Revolves in this great wheel of Brahma Chakra. That is the sustenance of all and the place of dissolution of all. When oneself is adored as in identification, once oneself is adored as identified with God, then thereby one attains immortality. Here he is saying that because of our separateness from Brahman, that we are, I am Atman, we forgot that idea. We are separating this as a separate object. It is not the object, it is my own reflection, but it is me. If that can understand, that means seeing Brahman everywhere in and out, then only one can be freed. So, Sarva Ajive, here meaning is there, Sarva is all, Ajive, then we see. Sarva Ajive, in which everything lives, Sarva Samasti, in which everything rests, Brihante, in the infinite, in this Brahma Chakra, in the wheel of Brahman. The pilgrim soul, Hamsa, Brahmati, is wheeled about. How we all, he's saying in everything that lives, anything is alive, in which everything lives, in which everything rests, in the infinite, in this wheel of Brahma Chakra, the pilgrim is as if have been making a journey, Brahmante. How the individual soul here hitherto regarded as separate. We are always thinking, I am separate from the whole universe. I am separate from everything in the visible or invisible objects of the world. And the prerita, as the moving force of God, is separate, thinking that separation, we are in suffering. And then Justa, blessed by them, Amritattva eti, they attend to Amritattva, when moving force and blessed by him, it attains immortality. So three translations tell us the three language. So I am reading that. Shankaracharya's idea is that the individual soul, like us, considering itself and the controller, they are different. Because of this ignorance, revolves in this great wheel of Brahman, that's the Brahma Chakra. And that is the sustenance of all. Because of the Brahma Chakra, through Maya, this whole world appears to be existing. The wheel of the sustenance of all, and the place of dissolution of all. And in that Brahman, everything dissolves. When one's self is adored as identified in this way with God, then thereby one attains immortality. And this book says, in this infinite wheel of Brahman, in which everything lives and rests, the pilgrim soul that is wheeled about, knowing the individual soul either to regarded as separate, to be itself the moving force. Knowing what to know, that individual soul like me, us, which was regarded as separate, to be itself the moving force. When one can know that I am the fully moving force, I am the body, appearing body, but I am the soul of the body. I am the source of this existence. I am the conscious entity. I am the power behind this movement of the physical body. And blessed by him means God, it attains immortality. The wheel of Brahman, this reference here is to be the wheel described in the mantra before, the wheel of the universe. Achha. Pilgrim soul means we. What the pilgrim souls? The word Hamsa. Hamsa means the swan, which means swan in classical Sanskrit, is here interpreted to mean the traveler. We, the pilgrims. We are all like pilgrims. The progress of consciousness from tamas to sattva, or from the unconscious of inert substances to the superconscious of samadhi, is compared to a pilgrimage. Who is a pilgrimage? Who started not knowing who we are, not knowing what is this universe, and till it reaches the point of the superconscious experience in samadhi. This is the pilgrim. We are all moving in the life's journey to reach our home, but we went to see the world, Brahma Chakra. So there seems also to be a subtle reference to the similarity of the soul to a swan kept in revolving cage, fluttering about so as to escape from its confinement. So we are all pilgrim souls.
These two different commentaries. One is Shankara, it's Advaitic.
It did
The
all.
other one is also Advaitic, or
It
is
is
it Advaitic?
Advaita, but explained in a different way, little differently. When you translate and write, you have your own perspective little bit added. But the main theme is the same. Separation idea makes us weak. When I think I am everything, then you are free. Vedanta's highest conclusion is what? Aham Brahmasmi. I am that. When one attaches to that, then he is the free person. Then his experience is full. When we little difference from the divine entity makes us a worldly person. And that's the pilgrimage. Here it is mentioned that say Brahma Sarva Jive Sarva Samaste Brihantasmi Hamsa. Hamsa means the swan. Swan means we who are making a journey from the unknowing state to the knowing of superconscious state, wherein I am the only entity. I have become everything. I am that. No? So that experience. Is wheeled about means the reference to the theory of reincarnation. Means we are born again and again and again. So an individual soul, knowing the individual soul, what does it mean? It says that the line is variously interpreted by commentators of various schools of thought. You see, one word, but various schools of thought will explain it according to their philosophy. Each trying to find in it a support from for his own favorite system of Vedanta. Huh? So Vedanta is not one Vedanta. Dvaita Vedanta, Vishishta Dvaita Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta. No? We always take it for granted only one Vedanta, that is Advaita Vedanta. Normally we talk about that. It says each trying to find support from his own favorite system of Vedanta. What is the favorite? It is referred to many times in the commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. The Advaitic commentator takes the line to be connected with the previous part of the mantra and interprets it to mean thinking. Advaita Vedanta will explain in connection with other verses what we did. This verse to be explained in this way, thinking that the individual soul is different from God. According to him, this conception of the difference between the individual soul and the supreme soul is real cause of bondage and reincarnation. Advaita Vedanta will say, what is the real cause of bondage? That difference between individual soul and the I am separate from the divine. I am the body, and my real nature is something different. So I am always separate from that. This separation, according to non-dual Vedanta, is the cause of our suffering. No, this is the Sankara style. So I read again. According to him, means Sankara, this conception of the difference between the individual soul and the supreme soul is the real cause of our bondage and reincarnation. Why we are being born again and again and again? What is the cause? Real cause is that separation. I am separate. I am a small body-mind complex. I forgot that I am really infinite. That separation has come. Ignorance has separated me from my real nature. That is the cause of suffering. According to the Advaitic interpretation, the line has to be construed like that. Atmanam, theist. Now, theists take this line as related to the last line of the mantra. According to them, it means that the realization of the Atman as separate from its Lord and Master gives immortality. According to them, it means that the realization of the Atman, this small s, capital S, are separate from its Lord, the Master gives immortality. They therefore would construct the sentence like this. Even taking this line as referring to the last line of mantra, other interprets line means knowing the individual soul to be the same as God and treated it as referring to the cause of liberation. We may attempt to reconcile these views, which are generally supposed to be in opposition, as follows. So let us understand this. What is the reconciliation of so many philosophies? What is that? The ignorant man is usually concerned only with himself and the world. To him, God, the third entity, does not exist. The intelligent man soon finds out, however, that there is some unknown power behind the universe which is guiding his destinies. The first part of the spiritual practice, therefore, is to realize the existence of this power on whom both he and the world depends. So, first thing to know that what is the power behind me and the universe. At first, this realization is only intellectual. We know there is some cosmic power behind us, behind me, and behind the whole universe. That is the first thing intellectually to understand. In the history of humanity, as well as in the life of individual, we find that the idea of God comes early in the picture. With maturing of intellectual powers come the real search as to the fundamental character of the power. Sadhana, spiritual practice, first begins with the idea of a separation of God from the universe as a being with qualities entirely different from the individual world. As we know, God is sitting somewhere, He is controlling the whole universe, He is controlling my destiny. He is like a, what would you say, He is like a king or emperor sitting in the palace. He is totally different person, I am totally different person. He is controlling the whole country. He is the power behind everything. So this is the beginning of spiritual journey. So he says this sadhana first begins where? Begins with a separation of God from the universe. God is something, she's sitting somewhere. The world is something, and we are in the world. I am created being, you are created being, the whole world, sun, moon, stars, everything created by one, someone sitting somewhere, the controlling power. No? We start our spiritual journey from there. Then he says, subsequently, with the analysis of the individual and the world psychologically and scientifically, the various systems of philosophy dealing with the relation between God and the individual soul and the world come into being. So now, to understand this in next time, in future, as much one goes on analyzing and scientifically trying to understand the relationship between God and me, the individual and the world will come into being. Each system represents a stage in the progress of thought and sadhana. We are not to uh, fight with each other. You are wrong, I am right. It says that is Ramakrishna's idea. Spiritual sadhana starts here, that I am here, God is sitting in the heaven, controlling my destiny. He is in the whole universe. Sun, moon, stars, galaxies, everything is His creation. His power is behind it, but He is totally separate. Dualism, it starts there. And as one progresses in spiritual life, intellectual development happens, mind becomes purer. He understands that progress to the sadhana, and he understands that each system represents a stage. You think that I am a part of it, then I am that. In the major three philosophy, I am separate from God, I am part of God, I am that. That is we hear all the time these three stages. Deho buddhya to dasosmi. Hanumanji used to say, when I feel I am the body, I am your das, servant. You are the boss. You are the Lord of the universe. You have created everything. I am nothing. I am to serve you. Deho, I'm separate, totally separate. You know, servant and boss, master, they never one. Friend can be closeness, they sit together. A servant will always sit at the feet or stand outside. No? That is his servant idea. So God and servant. So Deho Buddhya, when I am having body consciousness, I am the dasa, I am your servant. Jiva Buddhya, when I think I am an individual soul, then you are the cosmic soul, and I am a part of that. And if my spiritual journey moves further, then I find that Atma Buddhya, when I think I am the Atman consciousness itself, Tameva aham, I am you. Oh Lord, you are no more separate from me. Oh Krishna, oh Rama, you are not separate from me. I am and you are all one. So these are the three stages of development. So here it is saying the individual soul means a soul who is making a pilgrimage from the state of ignorance, the ideal of dualism, to the qualified non-dualism, to the absolute Advaita. So this is the so it represents a stage in the progress and sadhana. In the final stage of realization, in the depths of samadhi, the world and the individual soul as we know them vanish entirely. And God alone remains. That's the Vijnanavad. That is the philosophy of seeing Brahman everywhere. There is nothing but Brahman. And Ramakrishna used to live in that consciousness many times. Not all the time, otherwise he cannot sing, dance, eat. In a certain mood, he was in the tune to that. When a babu, a person is walking on the grass and he felt the pain. He's identified with everything. It is me, everything is me. So the individual soul gradually acquires all fundamental characteristics of God. Being in that state, when the tune himself gradually, all the character, Ramakrishna says, all the quality, father's qualities comes to all the son inherits everything of father. And almost, it should be one son then. Anyhow. But this father is so huge. As much as you take, you are inexhaustible. If you connect with the high tension line, then you will never power loss will never happen. It's a high tension line. But a small power line, if it is overloaded, a fuse will break. But in that case, it does not. So the individual soul gradually acquires all the fundamental characteristics of God and gives up all the characteristics of the world. When you progress, what happens? Our worldly characteristics goes away. Our godly characteristics grow. And at the final stage, when God becomes absolute, you become absolute. This process of transformation of the individual soul is referred to in this line as pilgrimage hangsha. Very good. So, you see, if you go into the depth, there is so much to understand. We are all hangsas. We are all pilgrims. We are going to reach the ultimate destination. We are at different points of the journey. And as we are in different points of journey, we can easily move joyfully till we reach the goal. And the goal will be that time it will be oneness with that reality. And when you're coming down from that, you see that oneness everywhere, here and there, in and out, everywhere. This transformation involves both the processes, namely, first find the difference between God and you, as we know it, first stage. Secondly, the identification of God with the individual soul. I am a part of the soul. Actually, our meditation is feeling like that, no? When you think of your Ishta Devata, what you do? You move towards him and you try to forget who you are. And when you really can stay for a split second then you feel He is the only reality. Your identity is gone, but it's not totally gone. That's why it is Visishta Advaita. So it's identifying with the divine. I referred this incident, Swami Vishuddhananda. He was telling to some of the nuns of the Sarada Math when they visited. He was the president Maharaj that time. And he was telling, when you're good meditation, what it does. So good meditation, we do meditate every day. Good meditation is God's grace. One day it may come. It's far away. When it will happen, who knows? He said, one day I was trying to meditate. I do meditate every day. It is quoting Vishuddhananda, our president, eighth president, uh, eighth president of our Ramakrishna order, no? After Shankarananda Swami, Holy Mother's disciple. So he was talking that, let me tell you, he was hesitating, then ultimately he was very in a different mood. He said, let me tell you, because sadhus don't talk about their own experiences. He said, I was meditating that day, and what happened? The mind, I forget the body consciousness. And my soul entered into, as it were, in the thought of my Ishta. And for a small period of time, it entered there. I totally forgot about my body. And then I felt bliss, bliss flowing all through my body. I felt a different sensation. And then when it came out, I saw that honey is drizzling from everything, the leaves, the plants, the people, everything is filled with honey, honey, honey. See, you are separate, you are remaining yourself. At the same time, you are feeling the honey everywhere. It's called the Vishishta Advaita. Thinking, it is not that absolute samadhi, but he's describing this state. What a beautiful analogy he gave it by his own experience, that I felt enormous joy in every pore of my body, as if it is only there is bliss and joy. And I opened my eyes and went, and I saw anything I see, it is all honey drizzling. Everywhere honey, honey. Madhu vata ritayate. And Upanishad says, honey is everywhere. In the wind is the honey. In the air is the honey. Everything is permeable. For us, scorching sun, hot blast of wind, storm, but for them honey, honey, honey. So it says the identification of it starts first is separation. Secondly, the identification of God, personal God, with the individual soul, as it really is. The two beings part of the same process, there is no real conflict between them. So you move in this way, there is no conflict. How you get it? You can try yourself, but Upanishad says by the to be 3, 4. Knowing the individual soul is a two getting, and to be itself the moving force blessed by him. Him means what? Blessed means what? Blessed means the blessing of God. That's why how much you struggle. Every day we have to pray, 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 pray. You may be a good meditator, you may be a good Vedanta student, but pray to God. Kripa, kripa, kripa. So he says, the Upanishad is saying, blessed means the blessing of God according to Advaitic interpretation. It's not dualistic interpretation. According to Advaitic interpretation, is the realization of the oneness of Jiva and Brahma. No? That is the realization of oneness of Jiva and Brahma. The thesis construe it as referring to the doctrine of grace. So blessed is that by blessing of God that comes. There are no real conflict between the two views, as the Lord's grace is necessary for the realization of the identity. A greater difficulty is as to how to reconcile the doctrine of grace with the doctrine of karma or self-effort. Here also the difficulty can be overcome if we understand that the grace of God is bestowed on a person only after he has reached the limits of self-effort. How to get absorbed in Brahman is described in the next mantra. Okay? So, what actually we read in this sixth verse, that in this infinite wheel of Brahman, in which everything lives and rests as we are, the sun, moon, stars, we individual beings, animals, trees, plants, everything what is resting, the pilgrim, we are the pilgrim soul. This pilgrim soul is whirling about. And it has a joy to experience this, to experience that, to experience so many things in the world. We are never satisfied. No? How many times we saw beautiful things, but how still now you see something, your eyes will run. How many times you have heard so many sweet words, still ears says, oh, good. And if someone says something, eh? So, how many times it has happened? But experience is endless, endless. So we will in the world of samsara. Infinite will. That's why we do not know how many times we are born, how many times this life is going on, how this life goes on, and we have lived how many times we forget, but we have the samskara in that. That's why we sometimes behave like a snake, like a jackal, like a howling way. All the nature is here. In human being, you see all the beastly nature. All the beastly nature is in human being. A person is very good, and when he's angry, look at that, how the boom, boom, boom thing comes up. Uncontrolled. Where did it come from? Vacuum? Void? It is all stored in the wheel of samsara. You're going to this, I want this, and all the experiences gathered in that, and then we are moving and moving on. And in which everything lives and rests. And in this wheel of samsara, everything is resting. Gods, angels, we are worshipping the gods. They also in the wheel of Brahma Chakra. Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Durga, Kali, Shiva, all in the creation level, no? Beyond creation, where is any gods, goddesses? Who is you? Who are you? Where is your God? Where is your sadhana? Where is your pain? Where is your suffering? Gone. That's a different area. But before you reach that point, in the wheel chakra, everyone, that's why you call it Maya's chakra, everyone is round and round moving. The pilgrim soul is wheeled about, as we are all wheeling about. But we have no control over that. We are bound to, like a forced to move on in this life. Knowing the individual soul hitherto regarded as separate, to be itself a moving force, the blessed by him, it attains immortality. So he says that when regarding they are all separate, these two are separate, and it to be the power moving force is that Brahman is the moving force, knowing this, and by blessed by him, a Saguna Brahma, God's grace, because when you are sadhana, you are in the region of the Saguna Brahma, personal God. And cross personal God, so personal God is also vanished. You also vanish. Therefore, Swamiji in the Song of Sannyasi, neither I, neither you, or what is the last few lines? Last few lines of Song of Sannyasis. We chant every day. You should memorize. At the end, it says that I, thou, everything is gone, and I am that. That I am. Guru naiva sisyo, neither Guru, neither sisyo, neither you, neither me, everything is.
Nor I, nor thou, nor God, nor man.
Aye.
I has all become. The all is I.
All is I. See, read loudly again. Again, read loudly.
Nor I, nor thou, nor God, nor man. The I has all become. The all is I and bliss. No, thou art that sannyas and bolse om tat sat.
Yeah. No, thou art that. You have to read like that. No, thou art that. Sannyas in bold. Say, I am that. Neither God, nor angel, no God, not I, not thou, nor God. Huh? There is no God, there is neither he, neither I. Only all has become I, and I am that. Thou art that sannyasi born. A sannyasi means we are all sannyasis. When you can tune yourself to that level, you are sannyasi. Sannyasi is not on the Gerua cloth, but it helps us. But main thing is to charge ourselves in that thought. Thou art that, thou art that. Okay, so we can end here. One verse is enough for one day. But this is very, if we deeply study, Upanishads are really to be studied like that. It is a very serious and a spiritual text, and to be read very deeply, profoundly, and to understand it, contemplate it. That's why called Savana, Manana, Nididhyasana. That we have just what we did today, this Savana. We have heard what Upanishad said. No? Try to understand. Now we close the book, even you have no book. I have a book at least. I occasionally try. So when the book is closed, the next week I will come back, then the book will open. And you need not have to open the book also. So you are free soul. So, but no, it now starts manana. This whole week should be contemplating on all every word of the Upanishad is very powerful. Sarvo, Jive, Sangaste. No, who is the Jiva? Who is Jiva? Just one thought. You are a pilgrimage. We are all doing pilgrim from our ignorant state to the state of highest realization. So that's why the Upanishads have to be first heard. We have heard today. We don't do the second part. We should do manana, reflecting, and manana should to meditate on this. You meditate on God's form, meditation. Meditate on this verse. That is a meditation in Vedanta. What is meditation? Going deeper into the understanding. What does it mean? The power behind all creation. Think. Go to your own concept of the supply energy behind all our existence. It's the material science will say it is all energy, no? Behind this whole universe, there is only one energy. There is no solid, there is no liquid, there is no gas. It is all energy. Dive deep into that consciousness when you read this one verse, that it is behind all the movement, the sun, moon, stars, down to individual me, is all one energy, it's cosmic energy. And stay in that cosmic energy for some time. So this is called deeper nididhyasana. And then this spiritual wealth will just manifest inside. Okay, so we end here. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om Tat Sat, Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. One important announcement, please come and bring everyone tomorrow. Our Swami from India, Swami Tago Rupa Nanda, is the head of the Malda Center. And the Swami was there also in the Malda Center head. And also school headmaster for a long time. So that's Swami, who is now the present Swami, is coming to stay with us for a few days. So tomorrow he will give a class at 7:30. Now, and the gospel is the topic. So who can stay and bring your friends. Otherwise they will see the empty chair like me. They will say, my God, how can I talk to this type of they're coming from India. They always see thousands people. They don't talk small gathering, 200, 100, Very few people has come today. If they find 100, 200 people, very few people have come. 1,000, yeah, okay. So we should not give a bad picture. So call your friends, come together, 7:30. And then tomorrow we'll be here, and next Thursday and Friday, he will be going to Swamiji house and other places. And Saturday, he will be speaking in Santa Barbara, and Sunday, he will be speaking in Togo. And Monday, they go ahead. This is the short visit. Okay, so two questions have come. So I have three questions are here. Could I please clarify? Would I please clarify when I am in mother's womb, I have no desire. So why should there be suffering? Oh, we have forgotten. People say, I don't know, the psychologists also say, when we are in mother's womb, there is I have not developed so much, but it is the baby feels suffering. There tremendous suffering to eat. So I do not know this is description. I have forgotten how I was.
No, this question is they don't have desire in the womb. Of course they have desire.
They have desire, that's why they are born. But desire not manifested. Suppose I keep my desire inside, no. Huh? I am a good guy here, sitting.
Before mother's womb, there was desire.
That's why he's in the mother's womb. You are in the mother's womb, why?
No, his question is when
There is no desire, manifested desire, no. It is not that question.
No, in mother's womb itself, baby has that desire. According to baby's desire, mother feel like eating this kind of food, that kind of food, like that they say. Sometimes mother doesn't have the tendency in her own life to have certain types of food. But when she conceives, she sometimes feels some different types of taste develop like that. That is directed by the child's desire.
So you see, I think child specialists can talk more effectively. But the point is that he has no desire. No, he has desire. Or the baby have the desire. But that desire may not be manifested like us. My desire is there, I go and eat. I am having desire of having a cup of coffee. I go and get a coffee. That type of manifestation is not there, but it is dormant, certainly there, and the body is being acquired because of the desire. So it is. So suffering will be there because there is desire, and as we get the explanation, that may be another reason, because the mother feels one type of urge when the baby is there. Not normally, the mother never had that type of desire, but maybe because of the child. Anyhow, so you can talk to some child specialists. They can give you some good help. We can ask some child specialists.
Also, babies kick.
Ah.
Also, born in mother's belly, babies kick.
Yeah, that I heard. Yeah, when they're in the mother's womb, they kick and they play like that or move there. That means they're not comfortable. Trying to get out or something like that. God knows we forgot everything. Everyone went to that stage.
But there might be joy also,
Eh?
But joy, according to the previous karma, suffering also will be there. If we have done good karmas, good desires, then there will be joy also.
Yeah, but in the mother's womb, question is in the mother's womb whether there is joy or suffering. We are talking it is suffering. Because osti, jayate, bardhate, viparinamate, apakshyote, mrityu, 6 changes of the body, no? They are also osti. Osti means some say osti is the baby is born. Some explain osti is when in mother's womb. Is mother's womb, the baby has come.
Then joy.
Osti. Jayati means born. Then bardhate, it is growing. Then viparinamate, then it becomes little age and declines. Then apakshiyate, become old. And then one day die. There's the 6 changes. So it happens in the body of the person, according to the desire. And good, bad all come because of that. Anyhow, second question, you mentioned emotions are changeful. Yet emotions are regarded as the foundation of bhakti. That emotion is changeful. That's why we have to change that emotion from which makes us disturbed in the worldly sense, it can go to God. I may be emotional. Why, Lord, you are troubling me? Why you are putting me into trouble? We can be emotional about that or feel something. That feeling can be connected with God also. And emotions are regarded as the foundation of bhakti. Yes, it is foundation. But which emotion? Same emotion can be directed towards God, and that will be the give us bhakti, bhalovas, love. How can something as tumultuous as our moods bring us to the changeless beyond ordinary compassion? How can something as tumultuous as our moods bring us to the changeless beyond ordinary comprehension? I do not know, getting the question.
Bhakti, if bhakti is based off of emotion and emotion is unsteady, how can unsteady lead to steady?
Acha, acha. Yeah. Bhakti for material thing is unsteady because material thing never becomes steady. Because you get one, you have to get another, more and more and more. But bhakti, when you get real bhakti, devotion to God, it gives us such absorption in God, then it only intensifies but not deviates from that. When if you look at the bees, when they sit on the flower and they suck the honey, when they suck the honey, there is fluctuation, fluttering, running again sitting. You have not start sucking the blood, sucking the honey. When he sits and sucks the honey, and Ramakrishna also gave that example, the fluttering stops. And you see, perfectly calm and sucking only the honey. So it is not deflecting from that honey sucking. When you know it is honey, and when you are trained to absorb that honey, then it will not be different. It will not be deflecting anymore. So it is a difference between material emotion connected with the material object and connection with the consciousness or Satchidananda self, which is God. Okay? And another is avatar come to establish dharma. Other religions have had the same issues or worse as Hindu dharma. Avatar came. Why don't avatar incarnate in other religions like in Hinduism to re-establish dharma? Only God can answer to that question because it is God comes as avatar. So this we should ask him, why don't you come? But but I think he comes also in place where it is congenial. When people can understand him. No. He comes, Swami Vivekananda came here. He was understood by the Americans because he appeared as the American needs, their intellectualism, their understanding, their thought, rational mind. But if Ramakrishna would have come here, they would have crucified him again. I think because of that fear, he does not born in other countries. Just joke. The question is that, yes, why do not avatar incarnate in other religions? I do not know. Maybe they are incarnating, but that really in Hinduism we have so many incarnations we believe, and they have transformed the whole society and whole humanity. But why they can flourish there more? People can appreciate them when in their every even from the childhood, environment is congenial. So probably that may be one reason. I do not know. I cannot answer. But it matters little whether he is born in this country or that country. Their message is eternal message.
Seed sprouts only in the environment which is convenient.
Eh?
In the spiritually convenient, that is why avatars come there.
Yes. What is the convenience? Eh? That's the point. Convenient means, as I said, the people, they look at that. They come in a very highly spiritual family. Like Ramakrishna came. His father is so pure. Mother is so simple and pure. No? Their whole family, they live on God consciousness, prayer, puja, all these things. No? So and also those people who you are born around, they are also spiritually enlightened people. So and you should have a. If I go when given an example, if someone says that I want to meditate, I want to meditate and give a demonstration of meditation. Shall I go to a dancing club? Yeah, that's also place. And can I start meditating myself or give someone any help to my? But if you go contrary to that, you think that you have gone to a isolated forest, end of the forest, very calm and serene atmosphere and the pure atmosphere. Then you go and sit. Your mind will be helping you to meditate. So I think that environment is the major question, as I understand. Another question: how to do what I decide to do? I decide to practice spiritual practice, but when that time comes, I procrastinate. How do I overcome this? Yeah, that is our Maya's play. You have to recognize whenever it is saying, okay, I will do it after 1 hour. Well, no, this procrastination is not good. Sit now. No, I cannot do too much. 5 minutes, do 5 minutes. 10 minutes, do 10 minutes. You'll have to do. After that, okay, I am restless. Okay, now I release you. Tomorrow, 15 minutes. Day after tomorrow, 20 minutes. Like that, you have to pursue it. Everything needs some rigorous persuasion for anything, for any job. You send a letter to government for some approval. You inquire, hey, what happened? Applying for a job. Hey, whatever happened? You are applying for some uh, government loan or anything. So bank loan. You persuade. So we'll also have to persuade for spiritual life. It is natural. The tamas tendency is in us. No, everyone have to understand. We have tamas, rajas, sattva. But tamas tendency is with all of us. Sometimes it drags us. And we don't find joy. That's why mind does not want to go there. But mind immediately finds joy in some other thing where I am very comfortable. So we'll have to think how we can make this joyful. Spiritual life may be made joyful by singing bhajan. Before you want to meditate, you start just pray intensely with tearful eyes. You sing a song, chant some mantras, wave some incense, create the mood that I am now here. No phone. We have such a bad habit every second to go to watch the phone. Throw away the phone. This is the time I have no connection with the world. Be bold. Hold on to that. And then state, I am for God now. So let us have some strong desire to hold on and a persuasion with our own mind. And then mind will gradually, mind will be cooperating. If he finds little joy in it, you will do that. Okay? Thank you all for joining online as also here in person. So tomorrow again, please come for Swami Tagore Rupananda speech on, he will be speaking here on the Gospel of Ramakrishna tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Panamastu